Hello lovely Flosstube friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren, also known as Cross Stitch Bunny, here on YouTube and over on Instagram. This is the 17th of June for my mid-month June update, and it has been quite an ordeal. This is take 2 for this Flosstube episode. I filmed the entire episode last night and then realised when I went to edit that there was like a problem with the files and I couldn't edit it. I had to delete it all, so we're starting again this morning. Hopefully it goes a lot more smoothly, and I've had a trial run, haven't I? So hopefully I'll get everything right today and I won't miss anything out. So what have I been up to in the first couple of weeks of June? I have worked on 4 different WIPs that I'm going to share with you. I have had no starts, I have had no finishers, so relatively straightforward episode today. 4 WIPs to share with you, a little update on my WIP Go goals, which I'm doing quite well with, so that is pleasing. And what else have I got? I've got a little bit of haul, a little bit of stuff to share with you, like in the way of goodies and a bit of enabling. We will save that for the end as usual. Let's get straight into the stitching. My first WIP to share with you today is one that I have been working on to tick off my WIP Go goals. So one of my May WIP Go goals that I didn't achieve and carried over was to stitch for 5 hours on a fancy lady. I then had that same goal called again for June under a different number because it's on my board several times. So this month I needed to stitch 10 hours on a fancy lady to tick off both of those goals, my June goal and catching up on the May goal, and I also needed to stitch on an animal WIP for 5 hours. So I have done some more work on Baker's Wife and I have done 10 hours. So this ticks off both of my fancy lady goals. And as you can see, I have made some really lovely progress. She is looking great. Really pleased with what I have done on her. I've done quite a lot more of this lovely greeny colour down here. I've done some filling in of like the confetti little flowers. I've not done any further beading. I've just been working on stitching. But most of this here is new. There were just a few pink splodges here last time you saw her, and now that's a lot more filled in around her neck. I've done quite a lot more of her skin. And yeah, I just think she's looking absolutely wonderful. Really pleased with this progress. So 10 hours worth of stitching. This is Baker's Wife, as I said, so this is a Mirabilia by Nora Corber. I'm stitching on 32 count sparkle blush blooms fabric from my own Stitch Bunny shop. Can't really see it sparkling in this light and it probably looks very white, but it is like a mottled pale greeny pink, which I absolutely love. One of my favourite fabrics. 32 count even weave version, and I'm stitching this 2/2 using all the cord 4 DMC for the most part, but also a few anchor substitutions for the DMC. So yes, I have a bit of an anchor little stash that I got in someone else's D-stash. Right at the beginning of me picking my stitching back up, like however many years ago that was now that I restarted the hobby. I bought someone's stash, someone that was giving up. They had quite a lot of anchor threads in a box, so with most patterns calling for DMC and not anchor, they're not something I ever reach for. And when I kitted her, I had quite a few of the DMCs missing that I needed, so I went onto a conversion chart and just converted to anchor for quite a few. So this is a mix of DMC and anchor, but I really can't tell, and I've used both on here. There is a real mix in there of both brands. And yeah, it's looking lovely. I'm also using the cord 4 Caron water lilies and all the cord 4 beads. Baker's Wife. Very, very happy with how she is progressing. My next WIP to share is the one that I've been working on for my WIP Go animal goal. You have seen it recently because I'd picked it back up after a long stretch of it being in hiding. This is my Beachcomber WIP by Lindy Stitches. I did talk in my last episode, I think it was, about some errors in this pattern. So if you're thinking of stitching this and you've not seen my Flosstube episode 51, I'm not going to repeat myself, but there are some errors in the pattern that you might want to be aware of. So you might want to flick back and have a little listen if you are planning on stitching this and haven't started yet. But I've done quite a little bit since last time you saw it. 2 hours of stitching, so I've got 3 hours left before I will hit my WIP Go goal. And in those 2 hours of stitching so far, I've mostly worked on the bottom here. So I have done this lovely little tufted puffin. I have started on the penguin. I think these two little motifs here are new. And then I have done a little bit more of filling in on that box there. But I'm loving this. It's such a happy pattern. So summery, and summer is almost upon us, so very appropriate. Some seasonal stitching that is actually in season, which is nice for a change because I tend to be all over the place with my stitching. I always think to myself, I would love to be stitching all the seasonal things in their right seasons, and it just never happens. I start out with good intentions and then I end up finishing off wintry WIPs like in spring, and I end up stitching autumn things in summer. But yeah, it feels nice to be stitching on this at the moment with summer almost upon us. Really happy with my progress. I'm stitching this on 32 count raw linen from my own Stitch Bunny shop, and I'm using all the called for DMC, all the called for over dyes. So the over dyed threads are Dinky Dyes for the blue whale, and then Lighthouse over dyed thread here. I always forget the brand of that one, but that is an over dyed, this sort of creamy, very subtly variegated thread. 2 over 2. So yes, that is my Lindy Stitchers Beachcomber. I just realised looking at my camera, the battery is going to cut out at some point relatively soon, which is annoying because I even checked before I started filming. It said the battery was pretty full. Now it's changed its mind, so we will see how far we get before I get rudely interrupted and have to change the battery. Next up is my Mill Hill little stitching bird. So I have the little picture for this one actually in the folder with it. So Mill Hill Stitching Bird, I love this WIP. This is my travel WIP. I pulled it out fairly recently when I visited my mum and dad's house, and then I decided when I got back, I'm not going to limit myself to only stitching on this when I travel, because I rarely do. So it doesn't get much action, and it is one of my smaller things, probably my smallest WIP that I've currently got on the go. Like, I've managed to tick off most of my smaller WIPs, and what I'm left with in my WIP pile is all my bigger projects that need a lot more stitches put into them, and this is one of the few that is actually close to a finish. So this is where I am at the moment. Done quite a lot more on this. The big white cloud at the top is getting much larger. My bird has gotten bigger. Filled in quite a lot of background. I think I've done a bit more green. So yes, I've still not started beading on this. I'm saving all of that till the end, but definitely some nice progress on this. And when I've talked about this previously, for some reason I had in my head that this was about 100 by 100, but it isn't at all. I've not got the stitch count to hand, but I did look it up on my chart a few weeks ago, and I was surprised because when you actually calculated the stitch count, it's more in like the 5,000 sort of 5,500 to 5,700 sort of bracket from memory when I calculated it, and I thought it was 100 by 100, which would have made it 10,000 stitches, so quite a difference, a lot smaller than I thought it was stitch count wise. And it's hard to tell when you're stitching from paper. Like, I'm marking it off digitally on Exodo, but Exodo does not track your stitches. So it's hard to tell exactly how far I am, but I'm thinking that it looks pretty much half done, maybe, at this point. You know, maybe not quite, but I've got to be close to halfway, which means I've probably not got any more than 3,000 stitches left to do on this piece. This is being stitched on perforated paper, 14 count equivalent, all the kit supplied things basically, because this was a little Mill Hill kit. So I'm just using all the threads, and I will be using the beads that came in the kit when I get round to doing that. But yes, very pretty birdie. Really pleased with how that one is going. My last WIP to share with you, I've flown through these today. My last WIP to share with you is another one that you've seen quite a bit of recently. I've posted on my Instagram with this one quite a few times recently. This is my Bothy Dictionary of Tea. So this is not a small WIP, but I am really nearing that finish line. So in terms of how many stitches are left to do, there's not a lot at all. Compared to last time you saw it, I have finished the treaty teapot. So I believe that last time you saw it, this was partially done. That treaty teapot is now completed, and I have started and finished this blighty teapot in the first couple of weeks of June. So finished this one, started and finished this one. I've moved on to this teapot, which is the flirty teapot, flirty. And I was plodding along doing this teapot, and then I thought to myself, well, I've only got 2 actual teapots left to do, which is finish the flirty teapot and then do the empty teapot in this final bottom corner. So only 2 teapots to do, and they are the fun part of the project. Obviously, the less fun part is doing this banner across the top, and I think last time you saw it, my banner was maybe around here. So I thought I'm just going to switch away from doing my teapot and try and get this banner finished. So I've started working on extending that across. Obviously it will need to come right over to here to go over all 3 of those teapots at the top. Then it will need back stitching. But I thought if I finish the banner, then I've got the 2 fun teapots left to do at the end, as opposed to doing all the fun parts, finishing the teapots, and then it may just languish for longer than it needs to if the banner is what I leave until last. Not sure if I will finish this in these final couple of weeks of the month, but it would be lovely if I did. So this will definitely be getting some more stitching in June. I'm going to keep plodding along with it. Same with my little stitching bird. I'm going to keep plodding along with both of those WIPs. As I said, my WIP go is almost ticked off for this month. I've just got 3 hours left to do on my Beachcomber WIP, and then I will be up to date with WIP go other than doing a finish. So I am still carrying a goal from previous months of doing 1 FFO. That is still on my to-do list, but stitching wise, I am very, very close to being on top of all the actual stitching goals. And we're back in the room, probably with a slightly adjusted view. The battery was very, very considerate in that it didn't die until I'd literally just finished with my last WIP. So that was very good. Moving on, I have been wanting to share this finish with you for a little while. It has been shared on my Instagram since May, but I haven't got round to showing it on my Flosstube. The first time I intended to show it, my battery died at the very end of filming, and I thought I'll just show it next time. And then next time I filmed in a different room to where the picture was, and I forgot to grab it. So I just thought, oh, I'll do it next time. And yeah, before I know it, it's been sitting in my house for quite a while on display, but I'm yet to share it with Flosstube. So this is my gorgeous wedding gift from Sarah. I apologise for the glare. It's impossible, isn't it, to show things nicely when they are framed with glass. But this is my wedding gift from Sarah, Cross Stitch Mad Sarah, here on Flosstube and over on Instagram. And she stitched me this gorgeous like grey heart, like all like floral bits around it. She's selected her own colours for this, I believe, and I absolutely love grey. Like my whole house is decorated mostly in like neutrals, grey with splashes of colour around, but like most of the decor is like grey and white. So I've got a lovely grey wedding sampler on a grey fabric that's actually from my Stitch Bunny shop, and she's stitched it on this and given it back to me, but with stitching on it, so that's quite funny. And then my name is in the pink, Adam's name is in the blue. It's got our wedding date on it, and I'm so sorry about the glare. It is completely ruining it, isn't it? If if I do it to the side, I don't know if that's any better. Is there one thing about filming? It's just really, really difficult when there is glass on things, but I'm not taking it out of the frame. But yes, I just wanted to thank Sarah again for this. I absolutely love it. We've got it on display in our living room and it's just beautiful. Like, I was so happy and surprised when I opened this. It's the first thing that anybody has ever stitched for me. So that is quite special in itself. And then the fact that it is a memento of my wedding makes it even more special, because Sarah knew that with sort of how quickly we planned our wedding, I didn't have time to think about stitching anything for myself. So bless her, she did it for me, which was just amazing. So thank you again, lovely Sarah. This is on the shelf in my living room, pride of place, absolutely love it. And yeah, means a lot to me that Sarah took the time to stitch this for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love it. So what else do I have to share with you? I've got a little bit of haul, not a lot. So I have made one purchase since we last saw each other. And well, it was a purchase I've made quite some time ago, and I was supposed to collect it when I went to the Bella retreat in May. However, some of you that are quite astute did comment on my last couple of videos saying like I hadn't done a Bella video and that obviously, you know, what was going on, and I unfortunately did not make it to the retreat. So I was so looking forward to going, and at last minute a few things happened, unexpected things, about a week before I was due to go, and it just made it completely unviable for me to be able to go away the following weekend. I was needed at home, I couldn't go. Luckily Zarina did manage to move my ticket on, so somebody must have been very happy that they managed to get a last minute place. Obviously I was really disappointed that I didn't get to go, but it meant that Zarina ended up posting these to me. So I have a pattern by Glendon Place, it's called Come With The Wind. I absolutely love it, it is gorgeous. As soon as I saw it, like, I don't know how I found it, I was like browsing on the internet at some point and I saw it and I was just like, wow, I love this. I love the words, I love the colours, I love everything about it. Gorgeous, gorgeous pattern. And I like immediately bought the pattern. I was having a bit of trouble kitting it up. So it doesn't use many materials. It uses Caron water lilies, Mill Hill beads, but the problem is that the water lilies, you need quite a few of the same colour. You need quite a lot of it. And I was struggling to find a single place online in the UK where I could get the quantities that I needed, and I didn't want to order like from different websites in case they had different batches and in case they didn't sort of look the same. So this, just put them on the whiteboard so hopefully you can see them better. This is my gorgeous little pack of silks from Zarina. There are 3 different colours in there. So I've got 2 of this really nice sort of rich browny orange, almost reddy colour. They are really, really lovely. I've got this lighter orange here. They're all slightly variegated and just so pretty. And then I have 3, just pick those up, 3 of this lovely sort of neutral buttermilky, yellowy, creamy colour. Yes, so Zarina obtained these for me so that they would definitely all be from the same batch. If you're interested in the colours, because they are very beautiful, the lighter orange is called turmeric, this beautiful cream is called almond, and the darker one is called old brick. Absolutely lovely colour combinations. And you can see that the beads that I've got for this project, which I just got Zarina to get for me at the same time as the threads, are all very in keeping with the thread colours. It's all very sort of autumnal themed colours, the gorgeous browns, oranges, gold, bit of white. I'm so excited to stitch this. I'm still being very good, as you will see from my last few episodes. Like, I've not had any new starts. I mentioned it in my last episode that I've not had a new start since February and that I was a bit sad about it, But I think I've actually worked past that sadness at this moment in time, and I'm just quite pleased with myself for chipping away and finishing things. So I am going to have a new start soon. I've not decided what it's going to be. Probably a Jolly July start, maybe. I'm not sure if I'll start anything before then, but yes, a start for Jolly July, Christmas in July would be fun. But yeah, I'm quite proud of myself that I've not given in to the temptation for a new start. And at times, like, I have been a bit sad about it, but then I'm getting a lot of satisfaction from ticking some older WIPs off my list. So I'm just going to continue for now until I really, really need a new start. We'll see how it goes. Speaking of Jolly July starts, I have received some gifted haul. So everything else that I'm going to show you is gifted. The Stitchery sisters, Nikki and Sarah, contacted me recently and asked if I would like to try out one of their newly launched cross-stitch kits. They were very generous in letting me select the design that I liked the most, and I absolutely loved Pierre the Penguin. So these are lovely kits. The packaging is beautiful. My kit is with 32 count linen. That is what I picked. So yeah, absolutely love this design. So cute. And he's not too large, which is why I was thinking for a Jolly July start, it would be nice to start something small that I can perhaps start and finish within July. And this is probably going to be perfect. So that is why I picked Pierre. I picked him with Jolly July in mind. And if you go onto the Stitchery Sisters website, they have a lot of lovely kits. Like, a lot of them don't rely on backstitch, which is always nice, especially if you're not a big backstitch fan. I don't mind backstitch, but it is always a nice bonus when a design doesn't have loads of it for you to have to do at the end. So yeah, here is Pierre. He's very cute. I hope to be stitching him very soon. And also on their newly launched cross-stitch part of the website, they are stocking Alicia Paulson patterns, which I have not come across before. So I was also able to select one of those, and I chose Spring Splendor. I just think this is an absolutely beautiful pattern. I love the little bird on it. I love all the colours. I'm really looking forward to stitching this. And yes, Sarah and Nikki are stocking quite a wide range of the Alicia Paulson patterns. They are under the sort of design name of Posy Designs, Patterns and Kits to Stitch. So yeah, these Posy patterns by Alicia are just gorgeous. I absolutely love them. There were quite a few others that I really liked. I had a hard time choosing which one I liked the most. But yeah, I've just never really seen these patterns before, so that was nice to discover a new designer, like new to me designer. So yeah, if you like what you see, definitely go and have a look at the Stitchery Sisters website. They do a lot of embroidery things and things of that nature. I don't embroider, but some of the stuff is gorgeous. So if you do both hobbies, then there might be some lovely embroidery stuff on there that you like. But yes, the new cross-stitch section is lovely, and I believe they are going to be adding more designs as they go along, but there are already some lovely kits available. So thank you very much to Sarah and Nikki for that. My last thing to share with you is my Black Needle Society box. So again, this is a gifted box. This is my second box from the Black Needle Society, and I'm just going to run through with you very quickly what I have received this month. So it's bi-monthly. The boxes are bi-monthly. So the last box I shared with you was my March box. This is my May box, and they just arrived a little bit late due to an issue with one item. This is the restricted section. So the theme is based all around books that are banned in one country or another for whatever reason. So yeah, quite an interesting theme. Inside my little leaflet, it tells me everything that should be in my box. There should have been some Animal Farm scissors. I have received butterfly scissors. but it was mentioned that there was a problem with one item, which is why the boxes were delayed. So I think I've received the butterfly scissors in place of what should have been animal farm scissors to match the theme of the box. But let's have a look at what I did get. We will start with the scissors, if I can find them, because I have just been talking about those. Here they are. Of course, they were at the bottom. So I got these butterfly scissors with a rainbow shift, very cute. My next item is this cup. So this is just like a drinking tumbler, plastic tumbler, and it's got a sticker on it that goes all the way around with loads of banned books. According to my little leaflet, every book that is on this cup is banned somewhere. It does come with a straw as well, but I'm not going to hunt for that in the box. But yeah, this would be quite useful for not spilling drinks while I am stitching. So that's nice. My next item is this little work in progress notepad. It is double printed, so you've got 2 uses from each piece of paper, and it's got room for the designer, the title, and dates and notes of when you've worked on a project. So yeah, that's quite cute, quite a cute little useful pad. My next item is 3 tea bags. One is Earl Grey, one is a mint tea, and one is chamomile and fruit. And they are in some really nice packaging that is obviously very bookish themed. Just give you a good look at those. So that is another item. They count as one item in my box, my 3 tea bags. Next is a really nice set of over-dyed threads. These are by Live and Dye LA, who do hand-dyed fabrics, floss, accessories and more. Try and get them in the light so you can see them. So one is this really nice pink variegated and this browny gold sort of colour. But yes, very pretty threads. Got no idea what I'm going to use them for, but they are very nice. Nice colours. I especially like the brown one because obviously that has quite a lot of applications where I could throw that into a project to like replace a brown DMC. So that's nice. Next item is a needle minder. So this is a little needle minder in the style of like the Penguin published books, and it says I'm with the band, but banned spelt as in a book that is banned. So that is quite a little clever wordplay. Nice little needle minder. Can never have too many needle minders, always useful. Next, I've got this lovely solid wooden bookmark. I'll do it this way. So Jane Eyre solid wood bookmark. This is by ntsdgaming.com. Definitely very useful for anyone that likes to read a book. I have saved my favourite 2 items for last. So my favourite 2 bits in this box, I will show you the runner-up first and save my very favourite until the end. So my second favourite item in the box is this very amusing Shakespeare's Insults little pouch bag. I absolutely love it. This is by the Unemployed Philosophers Guild. I believe that is the brand. It's here on the label. And the whole bag is just covered with Shakespearean insults. More of your conversation would infect my brain. Come, you are a tedious fool. Not so much brain as earwax. And so on and so forth. Yes, very much like this. Very entertaining. And then my top item in this box that I really, really love is this gorgeous heartstring samplery pattern. So absolutely love this. I believe that this is an exclusive release for the Black Needle Society box. So obviously if you would like to grab this pattern, as far as I'm aware, the only place you could get it at the moment would be from the Black Needle Society, and I'm assuming that if they have extra copies after their sub boxes have gone out, you will find it in the vault. So that would be the place to go and look, and just look at it. It is gorgeous. It is called An Ode to Libraries. And it says, the very existence of libraries affords the best evidence that we may yet have hope for the future of humanity. Very, very true. And then it's got all these lovely floral motifs. Just absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous pattern. Super happy. So that is my whole box. I hope you've enjoyed having a little root through that with me. Yeah, always fun to receive a nice surprise. I hope that you've enjoyed looking at my WIPs today. I'm aware that there wasn't a huge amount of stitching, but life update wise, June has been a busy, busy month. We had the kids' holidays, which I think ended at the end of May, sort of coming into June. So my first few days of the month really was just tidying up, getting things sort of back under control from the kids having been off on the holidays and being in the house, creating a lot more mess than they usually would be. And just as I'd sort of got on top of everything, we then had the estate agents coming out, had all our photographs done, but they were here, they were back and forth over several days, doing photographs, doing this, doing that, needing this information. So I didn't get a lot of stitchy time while all that was going on. My house is now listed, it is live for sale, so we will see what happens. Fingers crossed, but you never know, do you, until you go up. Somebody has to be looking for this kind of house at this exact time frame and wanting to move to this area. So we will see. We'll see what happens, but we've done our best. We are up for sale and we can just sit now and hopefully wait for some viewings, which means that I've got to keep on top of everything even more than usual, keep everything super tidy. So my stitchy time is definitely decreased and my cleaning and tidying is just on a constant cycle at the moment. I'm having to be really, really on it to keep everything sort of visitor ready. I've got plenty of tidying to do this morning after I finish filming this. That will be my next job for the day. So I'm not entirely sure when this will get edited. Hopefully I will get it up today. What else? Yes, sickness has plagued my household for the best part of the last 9 or 10 days. So no sooner had the children gone back to school, my little boy Hadley got very sick and very ill at the back end of the first week back. He was then off for a number of days, and halfway through him being unwell, just when we thought he's still unwell but he is turning the corner, Daisy was then struck down with the same bug. So then she was off. So although Hadley was able to go back to school last week on Thursday and Friday, Daisy was still off for the whole week. Also, it was her birthday. So she was ill for her birthday, which was awful and terrible. And I felt so bad and so sorry for her. But, you don't get to pick when they're ill, but it was just such poor timing. Horrendous bug. I'm not going to go into details other than to say my washing machine has never worked harder, and I am so glad. I'm so glad that they are back at the back end of this bug. It's gone. They're well enough to be back at school, and I'm very grateful that myself and Adam escaped it, touch wood, because if we had also been struck down with it, it would have just been impossible to function as a household. So yeah, super grateful that we seem to have dodged it and remained healthy and well, fingers crossed. I don't really have anything else exciting to tell you. Not too much else has been going on. It has all been about sick children and house tidying and estate agents. Nothing else to share with you. Before I do sign off and say goodbye to you, I would just like to say a big thank you to everyone that has recently mentioned me on their Flosstube. I've had quite a few notifications come through. I am behind on my Flosstube viewing because of the reasons mentioned, but I am looking forward to catching up with all those episodes where I've been tagged, and once I do, I will hopefully give you guys better shout outs. But yeah, I've got quite a few people that have been kind enough to mention me for one reason or another, and I'm really hoping to catch up as soon as I can. Daisy was not wanting to sit and watch Flosstube with me when she was ill. Once Hadley had gone back to school, she just wanted me to sit on the sofa, cuddle her, and let her watch Disney movies. So over the last few days, I've watched Cinderella, I've watched Bambi, Bambi 2, we've watched Frozen, probably a couple of others that I'm forgetting. It has just all been about the Disney movies, but I'm not complaining. I love a bit of Disney. A good excuse as well to relive some of my childhood favourites, because I can pretend that it's Daisy that wants to watch them and not me. But secretly, I love it. I love them all. So yes, I've not enjoyed her being ill, but I've enjoyed all the extra cuddling time where she's just wanted to be sat on me, and we've just watched loads of really nostalgic Disney movies that I have loved. I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to say goodbye because I've got to get loads of other things done today. I am aware that it is sort of WIP parade season. I was reminded of this fact by Rosie from Rosie X Stitch when we were chatting yesterday. She was like, is your next episode going to be a WIP parade? I was like, definitely not, because I do not have time to film one right now. But it did remind me we are at that sort of midway point in the year where it makes sense to do one. I'm not making any promises. I will see how the second half of June goes, but if I possibly can, I will film a WIP parade either at the back end of this month or the very beginning of next month. If I sort of miss that deadline and that ship sails and I don't get round to doing it, then it will just be an end of the year job. So we will see. I will try my best. It's been lovely to film today. Really happy to sit and share my progress with you. I hope that you've enjoyed. I'm hoping to get more nice stitching and hopefully a couple of finishers to show you in my next episode. I hope that you all get some lovely stitching time yourselves. Enjoy the nice weather, assuming that you have some. We've definitely had a few much brighter, nicer days here, which I'm enjoying. Some of my plants are looking lovely. Hanging baskets are looking lovely. Although I say my hanging baskets are looking lovely, they're not hung. So I made up some nice hanging baskets, and then Adam added some extra flowers to them and they look beautiful. And I have been nagging him for about a week to put them up, and they're still sat on the driveway. Looking beautiful, but not in their right place. So I may ask him to do that again today, and fingers crossed we will get them hanging by the door and looking pretty. I can't hang them myself because the brackets need to be fixed up, and I am not trusted with a drill to drill into the front of the house. So I have to just be patient and keep asking him to do it. That is also added to my mental to-do list for today. Take care, guys. Love to you all. Happy stitching, and see you next time. Bye.